How's everyone doing? Today I'll be reviewing Wrong Turn 5. And if you've seen Wrong Turn 5, definitely let me know what you think of it, and let me know which one of the Wrong Turn movies is your favorite. And Wrong Turn 5 is written and directed by Declan O'Brien, who directed Wrong Turn 3 and Wrong Turn 4. So you basically know what you're in for with Wrong Turn 5, especially makeup-wise. It seems like from all the Wrong Turn movies, from the first one to the second one, and then from there off, it was just a big drop-off, especially in the makeup department. It looks like they're getting less and less realistic. It looks like they're just trying to find people to put like Halloween masks on, essentially, because that's what it looks like. It looks like Halloween masks just put on. It doesn't look natural at all. It just looks really fake, and the effects are the biggest issue with this movie, in my opinion. And Wrong Turn 5 starts out with an aerial shot of the woods and the trees, and then some text follows that says Fair Lake, West Virginia was founded in 1814, and then in 1817 the entire population disappeared, and to this day nobody knows what happens. Dun dun dun. And then from there, it has a group of kids talking about the local folklore and legend of what happened. Basically, that the hill people basically came down and killed all the townspeople and ate them, essentially, on Halloween night in 1817. So that's what happened, and there was no bodies ever found because they ate them all. So basically, these inbred hillbilly cannibals have been around for hundreds of years, essentially, and they're still going strong now. And the biggest draw for Wrong Turn 5 is the fact that Doug Bradley is in here. Doug Bradley, of course, played Pinhead in the Hellraiser movies, and he brings basically some horror star power to this movie, and it desperately needs it. Doug Bradley was the best part of this movie by far. He proves that he can be creepy and just a fantastic actor without having any makeup on. Doug Bradley's character plays basically a father figure to the three hillbilly cannibal creatures in here. And after the Wrong Turn 4 ends at the hospital, he basically, and this one explains briefly that he basically brought them in, and he's somehow related to them because he refers to them as kin. And, he's basically the father figure. He, smacks around, tells them, that they don't know what to do, and you should be thankful that, I brought you in, and all this kind of stuff. And, he's the father figure. He's keeping them in check and keeping them in line, and basically telling them, I've done this for 30 years. And, he looks normal. Doug Bradley's character doesn't have any makeup on, while the rest of them, have all kinds of really poor makeup effects, making them look even more and more inbred, and the one eye, sawtooth, three finger, they're all creepy looking. But the first one, the makeup looks great. It looks like they were actually just realistic people who just had some inbreeding going on and just got crazy and creepy over the years of living in the woods and not having too much human interaction. But then from 3 on, it got worse and worse with each movie, it seemed like, with the makeup effects. And this one was by far the worst of the series with the makeup effects. So basically he's taken them in, and he's helped them out to keep them away from the public and scrutiny. They live out in the woods. But every year in Fair Lake, West Virginia, they're having this Mountain Man Festival. It's a music festival. They've had it for 10 years now. This is the 10th annual one. So people from all around the country come to Fair Lake, West Virginia for this music festival because it's also, it's paying homage to the Mountain Man as well. So people are wearing these masks that look like the inbred hillbillies, and basically that's the thing that really just puts it into perspective for you. These people wearing these like Halloween masks look exactly like the inbred hillbilly cannibals in here. That's how bad the makeup effects are. And that's another thing that actually it kind of works here, because these inbred hillbilly cannibals can actually walk around in the streets without being noticed because all these other people are wearing the masks that look just like them, which is a neat idea, but it just shows you how poor the makeup effects are. And so anyways, the music festival goes on. It's actually, everybody goes to the center of town, and then they go to the outer area of the town where the music festival is. So at nighttime, the streets are completely empty. There's nobody in town because they've all went to this music festival. Apparently it's like a really big music festival. They're comparing it to Lollapalooza, Coachella, Burning Man, all these different ones like that. So it's supposed to be really big. And of course it centers around a group of 5 college kids who, they're out in the woods camping before the music festival, and they all want to go there, and they've got tons of drugs. They're going to do, weed, X, mushrooms, all this kinds of crazy stuff. And, of course they're having sex, and that's the movie starts off right away. Right after that aerial view, a couple having sex starts right off the bat strong like that. You know what you're getting into with these kinds of movies, so that's to be expected. And basically, it's the typical college kids doing drugs, having sex, and one by one they're getting killed off by the cannibal hillbillies, and they have to fight to survive. But basically, this group of 5 college kids, they have a run-in with Doug Bradley's character. They're driving the car, not paying attention, and they almost hit Doug Bradley. And Doug Bradley pretends to be hit on the ground, and the kids go to check on him, and Doug Bradley slices one of the kids with a knife in the arm, and then the kids start beating him down, kicking him and punching him while he's on the ground. And then just so happens right at that moment, the cops roll by and, say, stop what you're doing, and they arrest all of them, including Doug Bradley. They arrest all the kids and Doug Bradley. And you see the inbred hillbilly cannibals in the woods. You have Three Finger getting ready to shoot some of the kids, but then they stop because they see the cops and they don't want to get caught, so they hide out in the woods and they just plan for their attack from there. And the female sheriff is basically the lead heroine in here, and she does a good job as well. She's another one of the few bright spots for this movie, and she's kind of tough and she has that strong demeanor, and she's keeping everybody in check while Doug Bradley's saying, "Oh, you're gonna die, you're gonna get killed, my boys are coming." She's basically just stop that nonsense. And she finds out that once she processes Doug Bradley's character, that he's been on the lam for 30 years, he's wanted by the FBI, and so she calls them up. They're going to come pick him up in the morning. And basically this movie kind of feels like Assault on Precinct 13 meets Wrong Turn, because basically the inbred hillbilly cannibals, the three of them, they basically try to break out Doug Bradley's character, and they're killing people off left and right, killing the different deputies and different police officers and things like that. So it's basically just the female sheriff at the police station while everybody else is at the fairgrounds where the big music festival is on the outer banks of the town. So the town is basically just empty, and this is another thing too. The inbred hillbilly cannibals is another flaw. There's so many flaws in this movie, but a big one is that they're basically right off the bat. Doug Bradley's character is just basically telling them that they're worthless, they're just stupid, they don't know how to do anything, and then from there they one by one intricately plot different things to break him out. They go to the power station and turn off all the power to the town. They do little things like this that obviously take a lot of cunning and planning. And I'm just like, that doesn't make any sense. They're supposed to be really dumb. And now all of a sudden they're geniuses figuring out how to take out a whole town. Just the three of them. And that's another thing too, is the kills. Basically that's the main reason to watch this movie, is for the kills. Some of the gore is really decent. Some of the kill scenes and gore effects are really cool. But they seem out of place. It doesn't seem like it's for a Wrong Turn. They seem more suited for the Saw movies, because some of them are kind of intricate killings. And I'm like, that just seems out of place, because most of the Wrong Turn movies, they catch somebody and then they kill them. They don't catch them and then tie them up and do other things to them and do little things like here and there. And there's a scene in the truck. I'm like, that just seems like a Saw killing right there completely. It just seems out of place. But there are a couple really cool killings, especially one in the street. Oh, that one was awesome. And there's another one at the power plant that was really cool. That's basically the main reason to watch this movie, is Doug Bradley and then the cool kill scenes. I mean, the good gore effects here, the kill scenes are really cool, but again, some of them feel out of place. And basically that's all this movie is the hillbilly cannibals trying to break out Doug Bradley's character from the jail in the middle of town, and nobody's there, and basically just the kids and the female sheriff and a couple other people have to fight to survive, and basically try to survive the night essentially against the inbred hillbilly cannibals. Now, for horror movies, you go in suspending your belief, but this one is just so many different things happen, one after another. Almost every scene, there's something that happens that's just like, come on, really? Just little things and little things keep mounting up, and there's some big things as well. It's just so much that it's just too much to believe. It takes you really out of the movie, and the acting isn't great, the effects are really poor, things don't make sense or add up. It's just so many cliches and so many just different things that contradict itself, and it just doesn't work at all. For me, Wrong Turn 1, by far the best, and then you have a huge drop-off to Wrong Turn 2, and then after that, just a monumental drop-off from Wrong Turn 2 to Wrong Turn 3. And then Wrong Turn 4, I love movies set in the snow, and besides some cool gore effects and kill scenes in that one, that movie was a huge disappointment. I actually think Wrong Turn 5 might be better than Wrong Turn 4, and that just is painful to say, because this movie is, it was a battle of attrition to sit through. Just so many things just are ridiculous about this movie, and I love low-budget horror movies, and this one it could have been so much better. The big thing, the makeup effects, and just so many little cliche things that happen in every freaking scene. It seemed like somebody doing something that just doesn't make sense, somebody dropping something, it adds up, and it just gets to the point where you kind of lose patience with it all. You're like, come on, it's just too much. It's not even one of those movies that's just so bad it's good kind of thing, like Troll 2. This one is just like, I can't imagine anybody really enjoying this one unless they get drunk and, they watch it for some laughs. But basically, you can condense this movie down to Doug Bradley's scenes and the few kill scenes in here. That's really all this movie is worth watching for. It definitely seems like the plot was secondary to all the kill scenes, because each kill scene seems to get progressively over the top, with each one seem to top the other one. I don't know if that was planned. They do one kill scene, they're like, we can do better, let's do something even crazier for the next one. Because that's what it feels like. The kill scenes were just so over the top in this one. The movie just feels like a really cheap excuse to show some good kills and gore effects. And actually, one of the kills towards the end, it seems humorous, and combined with Three Finger laughing all throughout the movie. And I know he laughs in some of the other sequels as well, but this one, it's so much. It seems more like a horror comedy movie, and they really should have taken more time to develop the plot, get some better actors, and better makeup effects for this movie. And I love the title sequence for Wrong Turn 5. It's very fitting, creative, and cool. But I do wish they would have put more creative thought and effort into the plot and makeup effects for the movie as they did for the title sequence. And again, Doug Bradley really made this movie. He saved this movie. He proves that he can be creepy without any kind of makeup. And I would love to see him in more horror movies. He was just excellent here, just messing with people's minds. You know, he's locked up in this jail cell telling people, you know, you're going to get killed. My boys are coming. You're going to die. You're going to die by the end of the night. Like all this just creepy stuff. And he's, you know, telling people, you know, I could save you. Just unlock this jail cell and, you know, we'll just leave. We'll let you live. Everybody else is going to die, but we'll let you live. Just kind of, you know, messing with people's heads, trying to get people to let him out. And it's just a great performance for Doug Bradley. Really loved him in this one. He's the saving grace for this movie. Again, I will say the female sheriff, she did a great job as well. But Doug Bradley really was the shining star for this movie. And I do love the last shot of this movie as well. That was a really cool shot and very fitting ending for this movie as well. Now, overall, I felt like there were flashes of slasher brilliance in here with the gore effects and the kill scenes, but overall it was a big disappointment, and it could have been so much better. The really big drawback for this is the makeup effects. Again, it's a huge drop off from every sequel in this movie, and this was the worst of the makeup effects. It's right there with 4. I might like this one a little bit more just because some of the kill scenes were better in Wrong Turn 5 than Wrong Turn 4, but the atmosphere, the setting was better in 4. I know a lot of people didn't care for Wrong Turn 3, but it was definitely way better than Wrong Turn 4 and definitely way better than Wrong Turn 5 in my opinion. Wrong Turn 3, you know, had the poor makeup effects, but it had some good tension and suspense. Without Doug Bradley and really 2 kill scenes, this movie would be unwatchable. And I would only say rent it or a one-time watch if you're a big fan of the series and you enjoyed Wrong Turn 3 and Wrong Turn 4, because it's right along those same lines, especially with the makeup effects and kill scenes and the poor acting and things like that. But if you weren't a fan of Wrong Turn 3 or Wrong Turn 4, I could just say skip Wrong Turn 5. It's not really worth watching except for Doug Bradley and a couple cool kill scenes. I give Wrong Turn 5 a fitting and generous 5 out of 10 stars. If you've seen Wrong Turn 5, definitely let me know what you think of it, and let me know which one of the Wrong Turn movies is your favorite. Leave me a comment or video response down below. Hope everyone's doing well. Take care.